Not all protein is the same. A lot of people think it doesn't matter where you get your protein from. As long as it's protein and you reach your protein goal for the day, that means you ate enough protein and that's good and that's going to build muscle. That's a huge misconception in the fitness industry, and we're going to explain why.
Yeah, so when people start at the gym, they get stereotyped for protein, and people think immediately, oh, this guy goes to the gym, so he has been taking protein powder, which is true, but it's not necessarily the best thing to do. Like, you don't start going to the gym and immediately take protein powder, because, as he said, not all protein is equal. When you take protein from foods, from natural foods, like chicken, eggs, salmon, any protein source, it's not the same as taking protein powder or protein bars or protein whatever, jelly or some stupid things.
Yeah.
So why is that?
Yeah.
Why is it not the same?
You can go into the scientific reason why that's not the same. Like, protein is not the same, but we're not going to do that in this video because we're not about science in this. We're not about science in this channel. It's not like we don't do anything that has to do with science, but like we don't focus on it as much. We focus more on experience
And common
and
sense.
practical advice. Exactly. So, if you eat protein like from cake or something, or from some sugary snack or something, it has like three grams of protein. If you eat a lot of that, and then you think you hit your protein goal, that you didn't hit your protein goal. Like, that's the protein you eat from cake is not gonna build muscle like the protein from chicken. Like, it's common sense. It's like food that people used to eat hundreds of thousands of years ago, you know? And that's the food that you need to build muscle.
I'm gonna give you two reasons why it's not the same. So let's say you're eating, you're getting most of your protein from protein bars or chocolates or cookies or some other snacks, these processed chemically made foods in the factories. Okay, so the first reason is, okay, you might be getting protein, like let's say 12 grams of protein or something, but you're also getting double the amounts of sugar and carbs and fat. That's number one, right?
Yeah.
And the second reason, who said in the first place that your body is gonna digest this type of protein? This type of protein is not natural. God didn't make this protein.
Yeah.
Like, you were not meant to, as a creature that God created, to digest this type of stuff that was like that's artificial and made in factories. So, using your common sense, you should understand that God gave you these natural sources, like eggs and chicken and meat and beef and meat and beef. Like, I mean, like these different types of foods, and you were meant to have them. And logically, like from a common sense perspective, of course you're gonna use and digest these types of protein much better than you do with the artificial ones.
Exactly. It's all about the digestion of protein and how your muscles use it. Like, your muscles are not going to use the protein you eat from cake. You know what I mean? They're not going to digest it as much or as well as the protein you eat from chicken or something, you know?
Exactly.
So always stick to natural sources. There's a reason why bodybuilders always eat chicken, rice, and broccoli, you know?
Exactly.
Otherwise, everyone would eat whatever they want and they would build muscle. And that's not true. Like, you can eat whatever you want and build muscle, but you're not going to build as much muscle as the person who eats natural sources.
Exactly.
Natural sources.
Exactly. So some people might be like, oh, but this protein bar has 20 grams of protein and one egg has only 9 grams. But in fact, the egg is much better to have than a protein bar. Forget about the amount of protein and this stupid things. The egg has
the quality of protein is what matters.
The quality, exactly. So the egg has, with the protein, it has some minerals and vitamins and other things that help to absorb this protein, right? But the bar, on the other hand, will have like artificial sugars and stuff like that. You try it for yourself. Try having an egg and then have a protein bar and see how you feel after both.
Yeah. not only how you feel, you can even try eating protein from unnatural sources for a while, for like a few months, and don't change anything else. And then after a few months, see how much progress you made. And then do the same with the natural sources, you know, for a few months, and don't change anything else. It's literally, that's how you experiment. That's how, like, these studies that you read all the time, that's how they experiment with people or with things, you know? You can do it yourself. It's not even that hard. Just do it yourself and see what brings more progress, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like before, I used to be like, okay, now I have X amounts of protein. I need just a little boost to reach my protein goal, and I used to do that by having like a bar. But
Yeah.
now I'd rather not have it at all, because I know, like when you go all natural, you see a big difference, and when you start introducing this kind of processed stuff, you will also see the difference, but you will not know this
Yeah.
unless you try removing all like this artificial foods and stuff, and focus on getting your protein and carbs and everything like from natural sources.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. So that's the end of the video. We'll talk to you next time.
See.